Victor Osimhen's rise to prominence began in 2015 when he led the Golden Eagles to victory at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, scoring a record 10 goals to win the Golden Boot. That tournament propelled him into the European spotlight, earning him a move to Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga. However, his time in Germany was far from smooth as injuries and limited opportunities saw him struggle for form. A loan spell at Belgian club Charleroi reignited his career, with Osimhen scoring 19 goals in a single season. That form secured him a £15 million move to Lille, where he impressed with 18 goals in his debut campaign. Napoli made him the most expensive player at that time, paying £70 million for his services. However, in Italy, Osimhen cemented his status as an elite striker, firing Napoli to their first Serie A title in 33 years and finishing as the league's top scorer with 26 goals. His performances earned him the 2023 CAF African Player of the Year. Osimhen later joined Turkish side Galatasaray on loan for the 2024-25, during which he scored 37 goals in 41 as the team won the Super League and the Turkish club.
80% of my life I lived in this place before I went out to search for greener pasture.
What does he want? What does he want? Picture? Where is his phone? Where is your phone?
Victor Osimhen's journey is one of relentless determination and undeniable talent. His rise was no stroke of luck. Those who followed him in his early career saw greatness in the making. At just 16, he announced himself on the world stage by firing Nigeria to victory at the 2015 FIFA Under-17 World Cup. His astonishing tally of 10 goals in 7 matches earned him the Golden Boot and Silver Ball, cementing his status as a generational talent. Months later, he was named CAF Youth Player of the Year, an accolade that felt less like a reward and more like a prophecy. It wasn't just recognition, it was the first step on the path to one day claiming Africa's ultimate individual honor, the CAF Footballer of the Year. In December 2023, Victor Osimhen etched its name in African football history, beating Egypt's Mohamed Salah and Morocco's Achraf Hakimi to claim the continent's top individual honor. This accolade was the culmination of a breathtaking season with Napoli, where his goals powered the club to their first Serie A title in 33 years. Beyond lifting the Scudetto, Osimhen shattered records, becoming the first African to win the Serie A Golden Boot with 26 goals and securing an impressive 8th place finish in the Ballon d'Or rankings. Yet, the road from his Under-17 World Cup heroics to his crowning moment in Naples was far from smooth, marked by hurdles and tested his resilience at every turn. After his Under-17 triumph, Osimhen's dream move to Wolfsburg seems like the perfect launchpad for his career. However, the leap to top-flight football proved daunting for the young striker as injuries and limited opportunities stalled his progress. at Belgium's Royal Calestoroy Sporting Club became the turning point he desperately needed. Seizing the opportunity, he discovered his scoring touch, netting 19 goals across all competitions, an impressive resurgence that earned him a £15 million transfer to Lille and set him firmly back on the path to stardom. Osimhen's lone season in France was nothing short of spectacular. His 18-goal haul for Lille not only cemented his reputation as one of Europe's brightest young strikers, but also caught the attention of Napoli, who secured his services for a club record £70 million. Over the next 4 years, he endeared himself to the Panettiere faithful, delivering consistent goal-scoring performances and firmly establishing himself as one of the most formidable forwards in Serie A. A season on loan with reigning Turkish champions Galatasaray followed. On loan and eager to make an impact, he took the league apart, leading Simborn to a league and cup double, while becoming the highest scoring player in a single season in Turkey's history. Victor Osimhen was born in Lagos as the youngest of 6 siblings, growing up with 2 brothers and 4 sisters. His father, Patrick Osimhen, was a devout man of faith, while his mother, Christiana Osimhen, shared her name with his deep-rooted Christian upbringing. Both of Osimhen's parents have passed away. His mother tragically died when he was still a child, while his father lived long enough to witness his rise to professional football before passing away in 2020. Osimhen hails from a modest background, where his eldest brother Andrew sold newspaper by the roadside to support the family. His sister Blessing was a petty trader who used her limited earnings to buy him jerseys and boots, nurturing his football dreams. When Napoli clinched the Serie A title, Osimhen ensured his family was part of the celebration, flying some of his relatives to the club's coronation to share in the historic moment. Victor Osimhen's roots trace back to Esan local government area in Edo State, but he was born and raised in Lagos, specifically in Olusosun. This area, known for housing one of Africa's largest dump sites, spanning nearly 100 acres, shaped much of his early life. The landfill is reported to receive up to 10,000 tons of waste daily, yet it serves as home to around 500 households. Most of its residents make a living by working at the dump site, scavenging for scraps to sell. This is the very community where Osimhen first laced up his boots and began his football journey. He later joined the Ultimate Strikers Academy, where his raw talent was refined, ultimately catching the eye of Nigeria's under-17 national team coaches. Victor Osimhen is currently 27 years old, and he was born in December 1998. Victor Osimhen was raised in a Christian household and remains a devout believer. While he didn't follow his father's path to becoming a man of God, the striker actively practices his faith. Whenever he returns to Nigeria, he makes out time for church services and was even seen attending a New Year crossover service in Lagos last December. He's also previously confessed to praying and listening to gospel music as part of his pre-match ritual, saying, I have a few pre-match rituals. Before each game, immediately we get to the hotel, I first of all say my prayers, which is important because I'm really big on God. Say my prayers and listen to some kind of motivational songs. Osimhen is also fond of referencing God in his public speeches and recently revealed that he had put everything in God's hands when he received a mouth-watering offer from Saudi Pro League club some months ago before turning it down. And now his difficult childhood. It was 2014. He was 15 years of age and playing for Ultimate Strikers Academy, a youth-based team in Lagos, or rather, he wasn't playing, he had just been dropped from their team and was trying to figure out what next to do. Then a scout called Shera Ayila, brother of former Nigerian international Ayila Yusuf, who had watched Osimhen play and saw something in the tall, gangly forward, invited him to take part in some mass trials for the under-17 national team. The trials were in Abuja, the nation's capital, and more than 300 miles away. Osimhen, who scored for Nigeria in their AFCON opener yesterday, a 1-1 draw with Equatorial Guinea, had never even left Lagos before and certainly couldn't afford a plane ticket. So he and 5 others squeezed into Ayila's car and drove for 10 comfortable hours to get there. There were hundreds of hopefuls at that trial, so many that each player was only given short games of 15 minutes to show that what he can do was preferred by the judges. Emmanuel Amunike, a former Barcelona forward, a key member of Nigeria's 1996 Olympic gold medal team, was the coach and the man who had sifted through all these players to find some gems. The purpose of these mass trials was to put together a team for the Under-17 African Nations Cup, held in Niger and Chile respectively the following year. Osimhen did brilliantly. He scored twice in his 15 minutes, but with all these other talents stretching out as far as the eye could see before him, Amunike wasn't particularly impressed. He seems to agree with the Ultimate Strikers coach that there wasn't anything notable about Osimhen and wasn't going to even bother taking a closer look at the lanky, skinny striker, but someone accounts differ as to whether it was an assistant coach or even the team doctor had a word. He said, I told them I didn't see much, says Amunike, but my staff came to me and said, Coach, that boy in the green jersey. So I said, let's see him again. The next day I took my time to watch him. And apart from his football abilities, I liked his character. The hunger, the desire. He was a player that was fighting. That's how he came into the team. If it was Osimhen's play and physical attributes that caught the attention of his coaches, it was Osimhen's brain that Amunike liked. I was not much interested in the aspect of how he played. I was more interested in the intelligence of the player. He was top scorer with 4 goals in 5 games in the under-17 AFCON, but it was at the World Cup in Chile where he made his name. Osimhen scored in every Nigerian game, finishing with the Golden Boot, that is 10 goals from 6 matches,